So this is the What's Up G Way dance. I brought it in and I put the deltoid in it right here. So it's
Are you a dancer?
I'm a classically trained dancer. I
Stop.
specialize in shoulder movement.
Welcome, leader of the Pookie Nation. We are so fascinated by your entire story. But you haven't been a content creator your whole life. You've had every sort of job you can think of under the sun.
Yeah.
So paint a little picture for us of what you were doing before you decided to be a content creator.
Yeah, so I've done all sorts of different types of jobs. I've been in insurance. I've been doing sales, door knocking jobs, corporate sales, being in tech,
Yeah.
working in public relations.
He's a hustler.
I'm a hustler. I'm just
Yeah.
a doer. And it just took me a really long time to realize that I wasn't good at any of them. So I wanted to take a break and really focus on what I am good at, which is just yapping.
Yeah, you're like,
know.
no one's opening the door when I'm knocking at them.
No, and when they do, they close it really fast.
Aw, I'm
know?
sorry to hear that.
You know what? I didn't have a beard back then, so I'm
okay.
sure that's what it was.
So it's the beard now. But let's talk about this whole content creating
Yes.
world. Like what? I mean, you've been doing it for a while.
Yes.
But then all of a sudden, you post this one video where you're just being so authentic and honest about, listen, I still like your stories, but I just don't like the way you behave. What do
Yeah.
you think it was about that just went, everybody loved it?
I think that, it's banter. It's me talking back a little bit. It's
Yeah.
very sassy. I'm always gonna like your story,
Yeah.
even if we stop talking. The problem is never how you look, it's the way you act. And I think we must take progressive action for our society. We must
Yeah.
move forward. It's not about how we look.
Yeah.
It's about how we act.
I mean, I love
Yes.
that people do think your messages are very positive, and they are, and they're full of humor.
Yeah.
But people are a little bit like, what? Okay, first of all,
Yeah,
is this a
yeah,
remix
yeah.
of like a Bhangra move? Like, what is
So
this?
this is the What's Up G Way dance. I brought it in and I put the deltoid in it right here. So it's
Okay,
It's
where
the way-
did this
ay,
come from?
ay.
Are you a dancer?
I'm a classically trained dancer. I
Stop.
specialize in shoulder movement.
I was like, I'm not buying this.
Yeah. No, it was just, I just wanted to express myself in a way that I couldn't just with words. It's the way you act. If I just said it's the way you act, no one would listen.
Nobody's gonna listen to it, but it is something so fascinating about it. But let's go back to, I like how you're trying to like detour my question,
Yes.
but people are obsessed with your looks as well. So how do you feel about that?
It's very flattering. I've always grown up seeking attention. And I say to get it on a random week in September was the most surreal experience of my life. I love the attention. I love these huge cameras looking at me.
Honesty right now.
Yeah, I just love it.
Pookie, this whole thing with Pookie Bear, Pookie Nation, how did that come together?
I just noticed that on all of my videos, a lot of the comments would be like, okay, whatever you say, Pookie, I'm not really listening to you, but whatever you say, Pookie, or I don't know what he said, I was just looking at him, okay, Pookie. So I was like, what's this Pookie thing?
So your followers gave you a nickname.
They gave me a nickname, so I started calling them Pookie back. You call me a nickname, I'm gonna call you a nickname. It's love.
That is true. That's how you know a friendship has now progressed to that next stage, when you end up giving somebody a nickname.
Exactly.
Like,
It's
I'm
not-
Sonia, but the second someone's like, hey, Son, I'm like, oh.
I was
Oh,
gonna
are
say.
we there now?
Yeah.
Aside from your messages, I also love that you're kind of on the front lines of really tackling this, male toxic behavior that we've seen, or kind of coming against it. How does it feel knowing that you're actually also part of this really important conversation that has shifted in the last few years?
Yeah, I think it's really fascinating. I think the conversation and discourse between men and women on the internet for the last 10 to 15 years has been largely hateful and divided. It very much gives middle school conversations of girls have cooties, boys have cooties.
Yeah.
When we have these podcast hosts talking about, can men and women be friends? And I think
Yeah.
that it's ridiculous. We're grown adults, I felt that there was a very mature, grown audience that's working full-time jobs, very talented and learned and educated men and women
Yeah.
that want to see a different type of content. I want to just sit with you and have a coffee and share a snack. Can we flirt? Can we be romantic and enjoy one another's presence? I think that the idea essentially here is not just about gender expression, is about looking at the human in one another.
You are like literally a leader of like something going on here.
I'm a professor in Sassonomics.
How do your parents feel about all this attention? Like, do they even get it? Like, listen, coming like brown girl to brown guy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes my parents, like, obviously they see me on TV and they're like, yes, but they have no idea, like, everything else that we do. So, do they understand?
I surround myself in an echo chamber of sass. So people in my life have had to get with the movement years ago. They just now repeat the movements. I think everyone I've ever met in my entire life, ever, whether it's extended family back in India, whether it's, you know, family friends that we have here, has now
Yeah.
seen my videos.
Yeah.
So there's no real hiding.
No.
There's nowhere I can go.
But
I'm
what
on
do your
eTalk.
parents say?
They just say the sayings. My mom this morning called me Pookie, which I thought was hilarious. I was like, you can't be saying that, you know? You can't be saying
Why
that.
not? I mean,
It's cute. Yeah, no,
It's cute.
It's just hilarious. She starts doing my movements now. She's like, it's the way you act. I'm like, wow, this is really catchy.
See, this is great. However, I will say, you know, this came at you really, really fast, right?
Yes.
And sometimes it can be overwhelming. It's like, as much as you say you love the attention, I can still imagine you going, oh my gosh, like what is happening here?
Yeah.
How have you actually dealt with that? Like even mentally, like do you really understand how massive you've become?
That's a really fascinating question, and I don't really perceive it, but it's come to a point now where, honestly, being matter of fact, I can't go anywhere in public without, you know, being recognized. I see people coming up to me, calling me Pookie. And for me, this is my life. This is what I do. I like to spend my time in my car, have a good time. I spend a lot of time alone. But to see the real life impact of millions and millions of people, every single day I wake up to thousands of duets, tags, and mentions and messages. Every day I wake up to a new international article talking about me.
Yes.
And every day I wake up, I don't even know I'm gonna be on the news.
Yeah.
They had the headline saying Sassy Man Apocalypse with me in my thrifted sweater in my car doing this, and no one told me. I said,
No.
tag me, you know?
Just
Come on.
tag me, for goodness sake. But what, like, where do you go from here? Like, how do you, like, what is your dream job or passion? Like, what does Pookie want to do next?
So the goal here is I am working in the acting space. So I do
Amazing.
short films, music videos.
Has that always been a dream, acting?
That's always been the dream. That's
Okay.
always been the dream. I've done theater growing up.
Amazing.
Not as much as I'd like to. I say I'm a theater kid who never got to do theater as a kid. So it's a dream that I'm living out now, but we are working in development with something for a screen that's a little bit bigger than, you know, the platform.
Okay. You can't say anything here?
Can't say anything right now. I'd love to. I'd love to share all the details.
Like,
and all
this is where you come and give us exclusives.
I know, right? On eTalk is
Yeah.
where I'm supposed to spill
Yeah.
the secrets, but I can't.
Okay.
I can't.
Even though it's like a brown person to
Even
brown
though it's
thing.
just me and San here, I can't tell her.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I've also heard that you are a huge fan of Zayn Malik.
Yeah.
And you've actually done videos about the fact that your hair is inspired by Zayn Malik. What is it about Zayn Malik?
I think it's the way he looks. I definitely think he's just a good looker.
Yeah.
And he's a great singer.
Yes, he is.
You know, he sings incredible. What's that one song? We'll piss off the neighbors. Pillow Talk, reckless behavior. That song right there did it for me. And him just on
Pillow
beat.
Talk was the song that did it for you.
And more than this.
Life-changing song.
Have you heard more than this? When he lays you down, I might just cry inside.
I could listen to you sing. Hey, speaking of singing, you're also a huge Frank Ocean fan.
Yes.
Apparently, you're working on some music as well. Do you want to
With
drop
Frank Ocean?
No, not with Frank Ocean. I mean, listen, the rate you're going at, that would not surprise me one bit. However,
yeah.
like, is music part of your journey?
Absolutely. I definitely, you know, am here to get into rap music. You know, I
I
think
think
that,
stand-up comedy is definitely in your future.
yeah, you know.
Not that I'm making fun of you.
No, not at all. You can laugh at me, with me. I'm totally good with it. At this point, the lines
At
are
this
very
point.
blurred. You know,
very blurred.
especially online. So I just take it as people laughing with me.
But it is something you want to do music?
Absolutely. I think for me, true artistic expression cannot be bound by theater, music.
Absolutely.
You know, I think that if you're really into arts, you want to dabble in
You
everything.
want to do it all. Well, Pookie, listen, we wish you all the best. I should actually mention Prayag is your actual name.
Prayag Mishra is my
Prayag
name.
Mishra is his actual name, but we're just gonna go with Pookie because you're just killing it. And listen, all the best. You just make sure you keep us posted on all the big things happening.
Absolutely.
Yeah?
I'll be right back here when I win my Grammy, Oscar, Emmy.
EGOT. He's already claiming for the EGOT status. This is how we do it. This is how us brown people do it. If you're gonna go for it, go all the way.
We intend on it.
Yes, we do.
You know.
Amazing.
Like the video? Then hit the button, or better yet, drop us a comment. Then check out our latest videos here. And don't forget to subscribe by hitting the button here for more celebrity interviews and entertainment news.